The government today defended its decision to extend for another year the imposition of martial law in Mindanao. Appearing before the Supreme Court, government officials cited various security threats and concerns that prompted the extension of martial rule in the southern Philippines. Kenneth Paciente with this report.
The Supreme Court started to hear the petitions seeking to nullify the third extension of martial law in Mindanao. These petitions were filed by the Magnificent Seven of the Congress, Makabayan Bloc, human rights lawyers headed by Attorney Christian Monsod, and the Free Legal Assistance Group in behalf of the Lumads in the South. During the oral arguments, the respondents laid out their arguments. First to face the magistrates were Brigadier General Pablo Lorenzo, Deputy Chief of Staff for Intelligence of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Lorenzo presented data that show rebellion still exists in the South. He said that just from the communist terrorist group, there have been 287 armed clashes recorded in 2018, in which 57 government forces were killed and 200 injured. He also stated the attacks perpetrated by the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters or BIFF, Abu Sayyaf Group, and the foreign terrorist group Daula Islamiyah.
It is clear that the various rebel groups continue to actively pursue goals of seizing political power, totally or partially in Mindanao, through violent means. All these undeniably point to an ongoing rebellion that imperils public safety, thereby warranting the extension of martial law in Mindanao. The armed forces therefore humbly implore the honorable justices to uphold the extension of martial law.
On the other hand, Justice Alfredo Benjamin Caguiwa asked the respondents to clearly identify in their annexes the perpetrators of the attacks.
If these reports do not identify the perpetrators, then I want to know what is the basis for the report to say that these are acts attributable to the ASG. But I recognize that these reports are dated January, February, April, May, June, so a lot of time has lapsed, and therefore the information of OJ2 might be more updated. So in the memorandum, if you could please tell us whether or not you have in fact been able to identify the perpetrators. Tell us as well if you have not been able to identify the perpetrators, and if so, what is the basis for the AFP to consider them as ASG-initiated violent incident.
Meanwhile, Solicitor General Jose Calida stood firm that there is a legal basis for the extension of martial law in Mindanao.
The President asked Congress, Your Honor, to extend the duration of martial law from January 1, 2019 to December 31, 2019, because, again, the rebellion persists and public safety requires it, Your Honor.
Instead of continuing tomorrow, all oral arguments were heard and completed today, said Chief Justice Lucas Bersamin. The petitioners and respondents were given until February 4 to submit corresponding documents requested from them before the highest court of the land decides whether to uphold or not the extension of the martial law in Mindanao. Kenneth Paciente for The Nation.